Hello and welcome back to my channel. Today I continue solving set problems, and I think the other time the set problems we solved were only two or so I wanted to solve a little more so that we can get a little more familiar with it than we currently are. So we have today I've typed out the questions in a Word document. So the first question we are going to be dealing with is actually this. A student interviewed 70 people in Accra to ask which channels they watched on TV the night before. 52 watched GTV, 24 watched KTV, and 22 watched MTV. 14 watched GTV and KTV only. Only here is very important, as we shall see. 8 watched KTV and MTV. 13 watched GTV and MTV. 2 watched all three channels. A. Illustrate the information in the Venn diagram. And B. Find from the people interviewed the number who did not watch TV at all. And 2. The number who watched MTV only. Okay. So let me open my sketchbook. Now you might want to try the question yourself before we go on to this. And I'm actually going to use a sketch pad to really cover the question. So you might want to pause at this point and jot down what information you need to jot down and then solve it. Otherwise, I continue. Okay. So the question says a student interviewed 70 people. So clearly our universal set has 70 people in Accra to ask which channels they watched on TV the night before. 52 watched GTV. So I'm going to say GTV. I'm going to use G to represent GTV. Had 52. Then 24 watched KTV. So K, 24. Then we have MTV, 22. So M at 22. Now 14 was GTV and KTV. So GTV and KTV had 14. And this is only. So since it's only, we're going to call it only, right? GTV and KTV only. 8 watch KTV and MTV. So you realize that only here is going to be different from just mentioning the two, like KTV and MTV here. 8. 13 watched GTV and MTV. And 2 watched all three. So I'm just going to say all three. 2. Okay. Alright, so first we need to illustrate this on a Venn diagram. Okay. So again we draw a horrible looking Venn diagram. The universal set U 70. And let's see, M here, G here, and K there. M was 22, G 52 from here and there, and K was 24. Alright, so we draw horrible looking circles as usual, and there we go. Okay, so here they said GTV and G and K only had 14. G and K, this part is G and K. So you see that it includes some M, but only they said only, so we're going to exclude that part. So G and K only means here, so 14, all 14 right here. Okay, now actually didn't really follow the rules. The first thing to record in the Venn diagram is the number for the intersection of all three, and here it said all three had 2, so that's what we should actually put first. And then G and K 14, G and K only 14. Then we come here, K and M had 8, K and M had 8, meaning this whole thing including the 2 must be equal to 8. Therefore this side will be 8 minus 2, which is 6. So I'm just going to go ahead and write 6. Okay, G and M 13, G and M, where's G and M? Right here, 13. So again, this whole thing must be 13. So 13 minus 2 here will give 11. Okay, all right. So with that, we can clearly see that the number that is supposed to go into this place is all simple. So from here, the total must be 22. This whole cycle must equal 22. Therefore, the number here will be 22 minus the sum of all of these. So we have 22 minus 11 minus 2 minus 6. I just subtract each of them separately like that, and this gives this minus 11 minus 2 is minus 13 minus 19. So I'm just going to clean this, and of course you can use your calculator. So we have 3 here, oh sorry, 3 here. Okay, all right, and we have 52. So similarly, 52 minus this minus this and minus that, so minus 11 minus 2 and minus 14. All right, so this will give you have 52 minus 11 minus 2 minus 14. Why not just use a calculator and stop worrying my head, right? So this gives 25. Okay, and here too we have 24 minus 14, this minus 2, this, and minus 6, that. And so this gives 10 minus 2, 8, and minus 6 gives 2. So I'll just clean all this up and see we have 2 here. So this circle must add up to the total here, and so on and so forth. Okay, and this would have represented our information on the Venn diagram. So B says, find from the people interviewed the number who did not watch TV at all. So okay, so the last time I said anytime you had an information that gave you, it's basically give you the number for all of the intersections, you have to assume that there is some number of there are some members of the universal set that are not part of the subsets given. So here we call it X, that is the number who do not watch any of the TV stations. So in this situation, to calculate that, of course we know that the total here together with this must add up to the universal set. So that's how we calculate X. So the total here must be, so I'm just going to take one of the circles. I'll take G. So the whole circle is 52. So 52 plus this 3 plus 6 here plus, that is, you see, I'm adding the numbers outside that circle. 6 and plus 2 and plus x must be equal to the universal set, which is 70. And so we add up. 52 plus 3 is 55, 61, and 63. So we have 63 plus x is equal to 70. X is 70 minus 63. X is equal to 7. And so the number of individuals that did not watch any TV stations before sleeping was 7. And so this was BI. BII said the number who watched MTV only. So we already calculated that from the Venn diagram. So we have MTV only. Number is 3. And that's it. So this solves question number 1. So let us see what question number 2 says. Second question said, 2 newspapers, that's Graphic and Times, are delivered to 40 houses in Adenta. Each house receives at least 1 copy of a newspaper. In all, 26 copies of Graphic and 24 copies of Times were delivered. Find the number of houses that received Times only. Okay, so this is a 2-step problem. So you might want to pause the video and try to solve it yourself. And I'm also going to solve it right about now. And don't forget to leave your questions and comments below. Okay. So 2 newspapers, Graphic, G, and Times, are delivered to 40 houses. So our U here is 40. Each house received at least 1 copy, so meaning there is no house that received neither. Okay. In all, 26 copies of Graphic. So Graphic, 26 copies was delivered, and Times, 24. Okay. Find the number of houses that received Times only. Alright. Now sometimes, like in this particular case, they do not tell you to represent it on a Venn diagram. But in order to solve it as easy as possible, you actually should. So we are going to do exactly that. Illustrate on the Venn diagram. Our universal set contains 40 houses. So we have Graphic and Time. Graphic 26, Time 24. So and that. Okay. So again, there's obviously some number of houses that took both Graphic and Time. We call that X. And so the number that would take Graphic only would be 26 minus X. And the number of houses that took Time only would be 24 minus X. The question said we should find the number of houses that receive Times only, meaning we should find this value. Now we can't find that unless we find the value of X. So we're just going to do exactly that. We know that when you add this value to this and to that, you must get the universal set. So you have 26 minus X plus 24 minus X must equal 40. So again, minus X goes away with plus X. So we have 26 plus 24 will give 50 minus X equals 40. All right, so making x the subject, we get x equals 50 minus 40, and so x is equal to 10. So x is equal to 10, meaning 10 houses took both graphic and time. And now to solve the question, the number that took t only is given by 24 minus x, which is equal to 24 minus 10, and is equal to 14. And that's it. So I hope you got it right. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. The next question says, the figure below shows the results of interviewing some women students at a teacher training school. Okay, I actually couldn't show the figure here. I'll draw it in the sketch pad. So B in the figure indicates women who played badminton, whatever that game is. H for women who played hockey, and T for women who played tennis. And we are supposed to find how many women were interviewed, the universal set, how many women played tennis, how many played only two sports. So I'm going to show you, I'm going to draw the figure right now. So this is the figure given. It's actually a Venn diagram, complete Venn diagram. We have H for hockey, B for badminton, and T for tennis. We have, why am I drawing so small circles? Oh, allow me to draw it again. Let me do this. So B, and that. Okay, all right. So we have 12 here, 6, 2, 4, 3, 25, and 18. So this is the figure given. Of course, they didn't give the U because part of the question is to solve it. So 1, how many women were interviewed? How many were interviewed? Now to find how many were interviewed, meaning we're supposed to basically find, and there's no one outside these three subsets, so the entire universal set is basically contained within these three circles. Alright, so to find the total, we actually take one circle, sum it, alright, and then add to the three numbers that are outside of it, and that will give us the total. So the universal set is equal to, so I'm taking B. If you take any of the circles, you could also take H, sum all the numbers in it, and then add that to the numbers outside of it. Okay, so I'm just going to take B. I don't know why. So first I'm going to sum the contents in B. So we have 18 plus 6 plus 2 plus 3. Right? So this gives 29. And now I add these three, 12, 4, and 25. So plus 12 plus 4 and plus 25. So this was 29 plus, this is 16, this gives 41, and so this is equal to 70. So the universal set is 70. The number of women interviewed was 70. Okay, so now The second question says, second part of the question, how many women play tennis? How many women play tennis? So it just said, let me write, how many women played tennis? All right. Okay, sorry about that. Sorry about that. It's okay. So how many women play tennis? So that means we want to find a total number of women who play tennis, regardless of whether they played another game besides that or not. So that means we add 25 to 3 and to 2 and then to 4. So the circle here. So this gives 25 plus 3 plus 2 plus 4. So we have 25 plus 9 and this is 34. And that is it. And finally, I'm just going to do the third question here. How many played only 2 sports? So only 2 sports. So within this Venn diagram, the numbers here represent the number of those who played only 1 sport. The numbers here represent those who played 2 sports, and that here represent those who played all 3 sports. So the number of those who played only 2 sports, meaning played only 2 sports, means we add this to this and to that. So we have this equal to 3 plus 6 plus 4, and this is equal to 13. So 13 women played only 2 sports. So I hope you got that right. Okay, now let's move on to the 4th question. So I'm just going to erase every ink here and then go back. So the 4th question says, in a class of 60 students, 53 study art, 60 study biology, 36 study art and biology, 34 study art and chemistry, 6 study biology only, and 18 study biology but not chemistry. Illustrate the information in the Venn diagram, determine the number who study art only and the number who study chemistry. Okay, so you can pause the video and basically try to answer it and then check back later to see if your answer was correct. Otherwise, I'm just going to jump right in and start answering the question. Okay, so in a class of 80 students, so our universal set is 80. 53 study art, so I'm just going to say A, 53. 60 study biology, B, 60, and 36 study art and biology. So art and biology, that's 36. 34 study art and chemistry, art and chemistry, 34. And then we have 6 study biology only, so B only is 6, and 18 study biology but not chemistry, so biology, let me write it in full, but not chemistry. Biology but not chemistry, that is 18. Remember, nothing is mentioned of art here, so art could be or could not be there. It's important to understand that. So first we illustrate on the Venn diagram, so let's do that. So the universal set is 80. We have art, biology, and chemistry. And then that. Alright. So art 53, biology 60, chemistry not known. Yeah, we don't know. Chemistry is actually part of the question, what we need to answer. Okay, so now do we know all three? We were not given information about the number of students that studied all three subjects. Okay, so let's call that X. Very important. Okay, so now we move on to the twos, right? So first, A and B, art and biology, 36, right? So this whole thing again should be 36, but then X has to be in here, so this side will be 36 minus X, right? Art and chemistry, 34, so that means this whole side must be 34, and there's X here, so this side will be 34 minus X. This is 34 minus X. I hope you can see that. Now we have biology only 6, so we have 6 here. Alright, okay, and then we have biology but not chemistry. So biology but not chemistry. So biology but not chemistry. This is very important. And the number is 8. So meaning, watch, they took biology, so they could be any, but they're not chemistry, so this is actually the boundary here. I hope you're seeing this. This is actually where this 18 could be. Now you now see that 6, the number here, together with the number here must add up to 18. And that is how we're going to find X. So let's just do it. And by the way, okay, I think, has it been fully illustrated on the Venn diagram? Okay. Yeah, so the rest of this will be, yeah, we could actually leave it this way. Yeah, because we'll have to now do calculation to solve for the others. So this is actually illustrating it on the Venn diagram. So now solving the first question. Before we can solve any question, we need to find X anyway. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So I, the number that took art only. So first we need to find X, like I said. So 18 must be equal to 6 plus 36 minus X. Remember, like I said, this part is where 18 is, right? So that must add up to 18. So grouping like terms, we have X to be equal to 6 plus 36 minus 18. Alright, so this gives X equal to 6 plus 18. And so we have X equaling 24. Okay, so now that we know X to be 24, we need to solve for art only. That is the number that's supposed to go in here, which is actually what the question wants. Now remember that the total for art is this circle, and the total is 53. So this here plus this portion plus that portion plus that portion must add up to 53. So we have art only is given by 53, right? Okay, 53 must be equal to art only. Let me see, let's call this place A, small a, for the value of art. So A plus 36 minus x, we just found x to be 24. So 36 minus 24 would be 12. So plus 12 plus x, which is 24, plus 34 minus x, which is 34 minus 24, gives 10. So this is 53 equals a plus all these add up to 34, 42. And so a is equal to 53 minus 42, which equals 11. So a is equal to 11. That's so this implies art only equals 11. 11. Okay. All right. And that is the I part. Okay. Let me do the second part right here. Right here. I says the number that took chemistry. The number that took chemistry. All right. So meaning we need to find. Remember, they didn't say chemistry only. They just said chemistry. So that means this whole entire circle. Right. Now, just now, we have calculated this. We know this, and then we know that. We know the universal set. We have everything we need. Remember that to calculate the universal set, you add a whole circle plus the other three numbers that do not include, that are not included in that circle. Now, since we are looking for the number that study chemistry, so we take the whole circle to be chemistry, so that we can easily make that the subject and solve. So I'm going to call that C. So we know that C plus A, and A has just been solved to be 11, plus 36 minus x, x was 24, so that value is 12, plus 6 must be equal to 80. Okay, so straight away we make C the subject and solve for it. So well, let's just add these up. This gives C plus this 23 and then 29 equals 80. C is equal to 80 minus 29, and so C is equal to, so there is 51, and so chemistry, the number who studied chemistry is 51, and that solves the question. I hope you got that right. If you have any questions, leave it below. And so we go on to our last question of the day. The last and final question of today goes like this. In a class of 40 students, 25 speak Twi, 16 speak Hausa, and 21 speak Ewe. And each student speaks at least one of these languages. If 8 speak Twi and Hausa, 11 speak Twi and Ewe, and 6 speak Hausa and Ewe, draw a Venn diagram to illustrate this information using X to represent the number who speak all three languages. Calculate the value of X. that's pretty much what we've always been doing. But then, so you can pause the video and try to solve it and then check back to see if your solution was right. Otherwise, I'm going to jump right in and start solving. So again, the universal set is 40 and 25 speak Cree. So I'm just going to say T25. And then we have 16 speak Hausa, so H16. And 21 speak Ewe, E is 21. And each of the students speak at least one of these languages. So if 8 speak Cree and Hausa, so T and Hausa has 8. 11 speak Cree and Ewe. So Cree and Ewe has 11. And 6 speak Hausa and Ewe. Hausa and Ewe has 6. Draw a Venn diagram to illustrate that. So let's go ahead and do just that. So the U here is 40. We have Cree, Hausa, Ewe, and our 3 big circles. Okay. So calculate the anyway. So they said we should use X to represent the number who speak all 3 languages. I mean, that's what we've always been doing, right? So anyway, so from this we now fill in the 2's, right? So we have T and H, 8. That is Cree and Hausa here. We have 8. So this whole thing must be 8. Remember, they didn't say only, so it could include all 3. So this side must be 8 minus X. Similarly, Cree and Ewe, 11. And they didn't say only, so the side will also be 11 minus X. Sorry. So we have Hausa and Ewe, 6. So this side will also be 6 minus X. Okay. And of course, we should say T25, H16, and E21. So we are to calculate the value of X. So now, of course, we find the values in here, T only, and so on and so forth. Okay. So let's call this T, small small h, and small e. Okay, so we're going to do them right here. So now T plus 8 minus X plus X plus 11 minus X must be equal to, so what I'm doing is this whole circle must add up to 25. That's all I'm doing. So I can simplify this and get T plus 8 plus 11 minus X equals 25. And so T plus 8, sorry, 8 plus 11 gives 19, and minus somewhere, sorry about that, equals 25. So T will be 25 minus 19 plus X. So T is equal to 25 minus 19 gives 6 plus X. So this side is equal to 6 plus x, really. Alright, so we do the same for all the other three. So we say, let me free some space. Okay, so we have h plus 8 minus x plus x plus 6 minus x must also be equal to the total h, 16. So this goes away again. H plus 8 plus 6 gives 14 minus x equals 16. So h is equal to 16 minus 14 plus x. H is equal to 2 plus x. So this is equal to 2 plus x. And then we do the same for e. Alright, but then in order to find the total then value of x, we actually don't need to solve for e again. So we know that this whole circle add up to the value here, 21. So therefore 21 plus these three values must give the universal set. So 21 plus 6 plus x, which is this, plus 8 minus x plus 2 plus x must be equal to 40. We can cancel out what can be cancelled out. I'm taking these away. 21 plus 6, 27, plus 2, 29, plus 8, 37. So we have 37 plus x equals 40. So x is equal to 40 minus 37, and x is equal to 3. And that is it. That solves the question. So I hope you finally got a good grasp of set problems, and this is pretty much how the questions are going to look like. No matter how they manipulate it, it's going to look like one or more of the questions we have looked at so far. So you can leave your questions and comments below, and subscribe and share. Like it if you liked it, and you can, if you disliked it, you can dislike, and then you comment and tell us how you think we can improve these videos. Alright, so as I said, leave your questions and comments below. Otherwise, till next time, peace.